Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
New tonight, bombshell accusations by a former Metro police officer that ranking officers within the department actively lobbied state lawmakers to defang what is now Nashville's Community Review Board. Some of those allegations were made public during a specially called meeting earlier tonight. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino has more.
Major fallout after a retired Metro police officer sends a whistleblowing 61-page document to the Community Review Board, a civilian watchdog agency for the city. It alleges what the CRB is calling serious allegations of misconduct within MMPD's Internal Affairs Unit, the Office of Professional Accountability.
I will not sit in this meeting and pretend like we have a 61-page document that has some very serious and critical issues and not say one word about it. I refuse to do that.
The CRB tasked with overseeing citizen complaints against officers. Executive Director Jill Fitchard rejects Metro Legal's warning to keep quiet per a new state law. That law taking away much of the CRB's ability to investigate misconduct complaints independently.
Inside of the complaint are allegations of MMPD and high-ranking officials having a hand in this law. It is alleged that MMPD did work to thwart the efforts of any kind of external oversight. And so if that is the case, then I don't have confidence that OPA can investigate this in an unbiased, transparent manner.
Fox 17 News exclusively getting a portion of the 61-page document. Other allegations include officer discipline not being carried out and high-ranking officers working to undermine the authority of Kathy Morante, who heads the department's OPA.
I think that this community deserves to understand the complexity of the complaint. They need to understand some of the allegations.
The board is calling on the mayor's office for a third-party independent investigation. This after hiring their own attorney outside of Metro Legal some weeks ago.
Metro Police releasing a statement from Metro Police Chief John Drake that reads in part, the department has been reviewing and will investigate the complaint. Goes on to say that we will look at whether our administrative processes for internal investigation and discipline need any refinement.
To watch our neighborhood just be beat up.
And the high cost of homelessness, Hermitage residents say the major homeless camp that was closed there back in January is essentially moving across the street. And they say it's causing both safety and security concerns for all nearby. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller live from the Metro Courthouse after taking these concerns to the city.
Yes, well, I reached out to Metro's Office of Homeless Services after we received complaints of drug use and panhandling near the driving range at Andrew Jackson Parkway in Hermitage. Now, Metro says that they did offer housing to everyone who lived in the original encampment, but people living in the area are saying the city needs to do more to address this issue. This is where the Hermitage encampment used to be off Andrew Jackson Parkway.
You could see 4, 5, 6 tents.
Now resident and community activist Katrina Leach says people are living in the woods right across the street.
So it feels like we've cleaned up that one spot, but we didn't really clean it up. We just kind of scattered it. And so now in the springtime, you could see the tents behind us here.
Leach says that Metro did a good job cleaning up this area, but feels the job is clearly not complete. So what's Metro doing to keep this camp closed? The Office of Homeless Services says it provided 39 people with housing options from this camp. We followed up to see if this fencing around the camp that appears to be unfinished would be addressed. They referred me to the property owner. But Leach points out the new camp is impacting the driving range right across the street.
It's sad. It's another place that used to be a crown jewel in Hermitage. That's now being plagued by people don't want to stay after dark over here.
Leach says it looks like the whole neighborhood was beat up. More trash, panhandlers walking out in front of traffic. The Office of Homeless Services says that safety and security concerns are matters for Metro Police. And we also reached out to Jordan Huffman, who's the Metro Councilman that represents this district where this new camp is, to see what they're doing to address this issue, but we have not heard back yet. Reporting live from Metro Courthouse, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
It's gotten to like almost a comical level, right, where you're paying like $1,000 for nosebleed seats.
Continuing coverage tonight as Nashville artists and musicians band together in demanding live event ticketing reform. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker downtown now with more on the changes that they are asking Congress to make.
That's right. I have all those signatures in my hand right here. This to ask Congress to pass the Fans First Act. This to protect musicians and fans from price manipulation driven by scalping and secondary ticketing platforms. The National Independent Venue Association recently delivered this letter to a Senate committee with signatures from major performing artists including Billie Eilish, Dave Matthews, and Green Day. They're asking lawmakers to restore integrity to the ticketing process.
At the end of the day, artists and fans are having a more difficult time connecting because of bad actors who are scalping tickets and selling them when they really shouldn't be involved in the situation at all.
Local musician Chris Cobb is one of many calling on more transparency, consumer protection, and tools to stop the bad actors.
It's taking literally billions of dollars out of the ecosystem. So money that should be going to pay bands and artists, venues and promoters isn't getting to those people. And it's also impacting fans' abilities to get in and see these artists.
Music City stands at the center of this issue, as Nashville's cultural identity relies heavily on its musicians and iconic venues. Local artist Ben De La Cour says for musicians like himself, the consequences are dire.
I think that it's pretty clear to see who the bad actors are, and it's Live Nation, Ticketmaster, and third-party resellers. Those are the people who have caused this.
And with the push coming for reform from musicians, lawmakers at the state and federal level are listening. Among them, Tennessee State Senator Marsha Blackburn, who co-sponsored the Fans First Act. And if you'd like to see this letter for yourself and all of its contents, we have this on our website, fox17.com. This, of course, is an issue that we'll continue to watch. For now, reporting in downtown Nashville, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, this is obviously a talker in a town like this one. We want to know what you think. How much would you be willing to pay to see your favorite music artist? 240 people have weighing in. The biggest number of you, 59.6%, are saying I'd be willing to pay between $0 and $100. 32.9% say between $100 and $250. 4.6% say $250 to $500, and just under 3% say $500 and up. You can cast your vote by scanning the QR code there on the right-hand side of your screen, linking you to our poll. Our handle on X is @FoxNashville, and we will update the results for you tonight during our 10 o'clock newscast. All right, let's talk about your weather. No need to update what you did today. In fact, if you could rubber stamp it and send it down the line, I think people would be pretty happy.
Hey, and I think we have that sent down the line for a few more days, too. So great weather and, not too humid. I don't know if you were able to get outside or all.
Yes, pretty nice today. A little breeze.
Absolutely. A very nice today. And, we really needed a break from all this activity that we've had moving through. A lot of action that we got here in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky so far this May. From May 1st to right now, we've already seen over 7 inches of rainfall here in Nashville. Our average amount for this time is about 4.5 inches, so we are well above that, the average amount of rainfall for the month too. Finally a break today, dry on Broadway, a little bit of a crowd out there this Tuesday night. 74 degrees our current temperature, mostly clear skies here in Nashville, and we're going to stay mostly clear and dry as we head through the rest of the night too. As far as any rain goes, not seeing any of that. It is all dry here and really the entire southeastern part of the country seeing dry conditions right now. No severe weather anywhere close to us. That's all the way out in parts of West West Texas. So we're not going to have to deal with any of that for today or for the next several days, thankfully. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, 65 Crossville, 66 in Cookeville. Same goes for Lebanon, 74 again here in Nashville, 72 is the current temperature, Clarksville and up into Hopkinsville. As we head through the next several days, I think we're looking pretty good. If you have any outdoor plans, it's going to be awesome weather for those. Humidity values are not going to be too high for us for the next few days. It's going to feel really good. Temperatures are going to feel really good as well. And as far as any rain goes, not expecting any of that rain for tonight. Tomorrow we're dry. We're going to stay dry for most of Friday too, but late Friday night we do start to increase that rain chance a little bit. That storm chance will carry on over into the weekend and early next week. I'll have more details on that and how much rain you might pick up coming up here in just a bit.
Just ahead, assessing the damage that is closing part of one of Tennessee's national parks tonight. And deliberations begin tomorrow, the closing arguments today in the Trump hush money trial.
Should we be
Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police arrest a man on parole for a murder that took place this past Sunday. Officers say that Calvin Kinzer admitted to shooting and killing a man on Sunday, but Kinzer says it was self-defense because the victim shot at him first. Kinzer's facing a variety of charges tonight related to this killing. In Montgomery County, Clarksville police now working with the Army's Criminal Investigation Division to find out who killed 23-year-old Army Private First Class Katia Aguilar. Her body was found in a home on Tinytown Road, but they aren't releasing any information about how she died. More than $50,000 has already been pledged for information leading to an arrest in this case. In news across the state, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signs the Underage Abortion Trafficking Act into law. This measure makes it a crime for any adult in Tennessee to recruit, harbor, or transport a minor for an abortion without first talking with the parents. Now, violators here can be charged with a Class A misdemeanor, which carries a mandatory jail sentence of 11 months, 29 days, and this law will go into effect in our state July the 1st. In your community, the Hospital Corporation of America donates $50,000 to help with tornado relief efforts in Murray County. An EF3 tornado on May the 8th did widespread damage and killed a woman. Hundreds of homes in Spring Hill and Columbia were either damaged or destroyed during those storms. And in East Tennessee, the big South Fork National River and Recreation Area still very much recovering from the storms this past Sunday. Let me show you exactly where that is. Everybody knows Knoxville, obviously, home of UT. Here's Interstate 75 to the north. Just to the west of this elbow is the area where all the damage is. And let me tell you damage. We're talking storms knocking down several large diameter hardwood trees, many of them, as you see here, blocking the roadways inside the park. Right now, the National Park Service has leaders out there that have decided it's best to close off this area until the workers can get all these trees up and out of the way. All right, for the first time in a long time, we don't have red surrounding us back here because we're not in code red. I'm sure you guys are exhausted. This has been quite the active pattern.
Scott, it has been, I mean, I know Katie's tired, I'm tired, Greg's tired. We were having to change up all our shifts. Sunday, we were staffed up here 24/7. You know, somebody was up here the whole time, but finally a nice break, and I'm happy for it, too.
The public needs it.
Oh, everybody needs it. And, you know, I was just talking earlier, we are way over our average amount of rainfall from May 1st to right now. Typically, we get about 4.5 inches. We are now at about a little over 7 inches. So we have done very good in the rainfall department. Just need that to slow down. And for the next few days, I think we're looking pretty good overall. It should be a really nice rest of the week for you to get outside, especially if you have any outdoor plans, go on a hike, anything like that. Going to be fantastic weather for that. Tonight's pretty good too. 74 degrees, our current temperature right here at Nashville. Clear skies, and that's how we're going to stay for the rest of tonight. And I think we're looking at pretty good amounts of sunshine too as we head through the rest of the week. Start to see more clouds build in though as we head on into Saturday. As far as any rain goes, really not seeing any of that right now. Finally, it is all dry across really most of the southeastern part of the country. Very active back well to the west of here, so other parts of the country still having to deal with a lot of active weather. Severe thunderstorm watches in effect for parts of West Texas. Tornado watches out there as well, but for us, none of that. So we're sitting pretty good for the next few days. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, mid-60s, Cookeville, Crossville, 66 on Lebanon, 74 the current temperature here in Nashville, and we have 72 in Clarksville. Clarksville, also up in Hopkinsville. So basically, most areas, mid-60s, lower 70s right now. As far as any rain goes for us tonight, not looking at much of it at all. It is going to be all dry across Middle Tennessee. Southern Kentucky staying dry tonight, too. This is tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. I think we're going to keep those dry conditions in place. And then as we head through the rest of Wednesday, most areas should stay dry. The only exception to that will be the chance for just a few very, very light showers here in our southern counties, and that is it. But that's even a slim chance for that. So nearly all of us staying dry for Wednesday. Thursday, more of the same, starting out dry, and then we'll keep it that way as we head through the rest of Thursday. Friday, more of the same too, at least for much of the day. I'll show you that here in just a second. But Thursday, I think we're staying all dry. Friday morning, we're off to a dry start. As we head on into Friday afternoon, we're looking at some Friday night, we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms that are going to start to work their way to us. These are going to be moving in from the west. This is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. So you're going to be waking up more than likely areas along and west of Interstate 65 to a few showers. Not expecting any severe weather as of right now. So I really hope things stay like that as we head through the day on a Saturday, and then off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible for us throughout the rest of Saturday. Sunday, we're going to keep this rain chance around too. Earlier in the 5:30 newscast, this model was not really showing much rain for Sunday. Now it's hopped on board with some of the other models right now. This is a newer model run, and it is showing a chance for some of these off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head throughout the day on a Sunday as well. We're going to keep that rain chance around with us as we head on into Monday and Tuesday too. So as far as rainfall amounts go, I think closer to 2 inches down here in our more southwestern areas. And then as you head a little bit further to the east, rainfall totals are going to start to drop down a little bit lower. We'll be closer to 1 inch in our more eastern areas, maybe about 1.5 inches here in Nashville. Those are rainfall totals from very late Friday night, basically Saturday morning through Tuesday morning. For the low temperature tonight, 60 degrees, mostly clear skies, winds out of the west northwest, pretty light, 5 miles an hour. And then for tomorrow morning, we're going to be starting out mostly sunny, 62 degrees, your temperature by 7 o'clock. By noon, a few more clouds could build in, but still, I think most areas will be staying dry for the start of the afternoon. 77 degrees by noon, and then by 5 o'clock, we'll keep about that same amount of cloud cover in place too, with temperatures in the upper 70s. I'll have that 7-day forecast for you here in just a bit.
After closing arguments in the Trump hush money trial, what happens next? And could the former president face jail time? I'm Atrell Nashar with those answers and more coming up.
Hey there, hope you're having a good night. I'm Jennifer Waddell from Fox 17 News this morning. As more and more people head outdoors to soak up the warmer weather, well, the mosquitoes are going to be out there to join you. Fox 17 News this morning going to break down the best ways to keep the mosquitoes out of your area. We're also going to track the activity right now. Where are we seeing the most mosquitoes? And keeping an eye on West Nile reports. That's Wednesday on Fox 17 News this morning.
Due to the huge
Tomorrow, jury deliberations will begin in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York. Today, jurors heard the closing arguments. Fox 17 News' Atrell Nashar has more on that. You can let us know what you think by scanning the QR code that will appear on your screen during our story.
The Manhattan District Attorney and former President Trump's legal team making their final arguments to a panel of jurors tasked with deciding whether or not he's guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records related to an alleged hush money payment to adult actress Stormy Daniels in order to protect his 2016 campaign. The defense went first, arguing the prosecution did not meet their burden of proof and that Trump is innocent, plain and simple. Trump attorney Todd Blanche also painting the prosecution's star witness, Michael Cohen, as untrustworthy, telling the jury, quote, "Cohen lied to you." Echoing statements we've heard directly from the former president outside the courtroom.
This is a dark day in America. We have a rigged court case that should have never been brought.
The prosecution tells the jury even if they don't believe Cohen, there's still enough evidence to prove a conspiracy and a cover-up. Former U.S. Attorney John Fishwick expects the jury will reach a verdict by the end of this week, but there's no guarantee the end of this case will be cut and dry.
The three choices for the jury this week basically are guilty, not guilty, or we can't decide, Judge.
If there's not a unanimous decision, the judge can step in.
The judge then at that point does what's called an Allen charge, where he says, hey, look, you really do need to make a decision.
If found guilty, the sentencing of a former president would be an exceptionally difficult call for Judge Juan Merchan.
There's another hearing months down the road where each side would put on evidence. Yes, it's possible that he could go to prison or be sentenced to prison in this case. I think it's highly unlikely. The Trump team could say, well, he's not going to report to jail until all of our appeals are exhausted.
After the 10th time Trump violated his gag order, Judge Merchan said he was hesitant to send a former and possibly future president to jail, opting for a fine instead. Now, the judge may feel the same if he's handed a guilty verdict. However, the prosecution could point to Trump's willingness to violate court orders as reason why he should be incarcerated. In Washington, I'm Atrell Nashar.
Now, during that story, we had a QR code linking you to a poll asking whether you think President Trump will be convicted or acquitted in this criminal hush money trial up in New York. You see the results here. Just a little under 600 people weighing in, and almost 70% say, I think he's going to be acquitted, but almost 31% say, no, we think he'll be convicted. Our thanks to all who took time to vote. Just ahead, Nashville's Chinatown, the thinking behind a new development inside this old building that was left vacant in South Nashville, and a new service that will allow you to spend more time fishing and less time getting ready for it.
Ultimate
In your community tonight, another exciting development slated for Antioch. Less than a year after the opening of the Tanger Outlet Mall comes news of a project that will bring Asian culture, architecture, cuisine, and shopping to this same part of Nashville. Joining us now with more on the project is Metro Councilwoman Joy Stiles, who represents that area. And Joy, I know you were very involved in landing the Tanger Outlet project. Tell us about your involvement here and what excites you about the Nashville Chinatown project.
Okay, I could not be more excited about this. This is another opportunity to show everyone that Antioch is back, right? We are revitalizing and growing. This is an opportunity for 300 jobs in the construction and 500 once everything is open with full and part-time workers. It's also another opportunity to say we are the most diverse part of town, and here's another opportunity for you to learn about one of the many cultures that live in Antioch and Southeast Nashville. So I grew up outside Philadelphia, so I'm accustomed to having been able to go to a Chinatown, a Little Italy, and when I came to Nashville, I was like, oh, there are no specific locations for where cultures really hang out and are. And now we're going to have our own Chinatown. It's going to be spectacular, and it starts next year with the opening of the grocery store, which is going to have 3,500 square feet of a food court within it. And then ultimately, one of the buildings is going to have a nail salon, a spa, some additional retail and restaurants. And then the third building will have some street Asian food. So you'll be able to come and get something pretty quick and easy and go back out. But I'm excited because the buildings are all going to have a traditional flair. When you look at the designs, we're actually going to have a gate that people will be able to drive through that will be beautifully decorated with Asian art and sculpture. So it's a wonderful opportunity for Antioch.
Joy, I saw the address for this project is Hickory Hollow Parkway. Where exactly is it on the street?
So if you're coming off of 24 and you know where the Red Lobster is by the mall, it is actually the area right behind Red Lobster and the shopping plaza next to it. So right now it was a Calvary Logistics building. That's where the supermarket is going to go. And the two other buildings are going to be built from scratch. So that's why they're going to be able to start opening next year, because they're renovating the exterior and interior of an existing building.
Well, that explains a lot. Now, tell me this. I know that metro budgets are tight. The state budget is tight as well. Do you know anything about incentives that had to be offered to land this project, this developer?
So, no, this was not about incentives. This was about a long-awaited wish coming true. Several in the Asian community have been wanting to have a Chinatown, and Rocketown actually owned this property. They were supposed to be coming out to our area and leaving downtown, but they decided to stay downtown, so they decided to let the land go. And Sherry Ma, who is one of the developers, found out about this deal. She's also a realtor, so everything just aligned perfectly. And she said, this is where we're going to do it. This is where we're going to put our Nashville Chinatown in Antioch.
This sounds exciting. Now, question, is this the first Chinatown project of its kind by this group, or have they done this successfully somewhere else?
This is their first time, so they are putting it all on the line. Roy Dale is working on this project, as well as several other individuals that have a lot of experience. And so they are just excited about making their dreams come true. And I couldn't be happier to support them because, as you know, I'm a champion for the diversity of Antioch and all of the many cultures that we have, and an opportunity to really reintroduce Antioch to Nashville and the rest of the state, because this is going to be a location that people are going to come from out of town to visit. They're going to go to Century Farms, they're going to do some shopping at Tanger, and then they're going to get hungry, and they're going to come over to Chinatown to eat dinner.
Did you learn any lessons from the Tanger Outlet project that are helping on this one, paying dividends, so to speak?
So I would say moving forward, they will pay dividends. So with Tanger, knowing that there were so many stores and so many permits and so many different departments to work with, I had an opportunity to meet with all of the departments at once to say, okay, as this project moves forward, this is how we, want to keep the permit process going so nothing gets hemmed up. So talking to fire, talking to codes, talking to stormwater to say, hey, where are we with this project is certainly going to be very important.
Metro Councilwoman Joy Stiles, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, if you were able to get outside today, had any fun outdoor plans, it was beautiful today. Finally, we got a break from all that active weather that we've been seeing really over the past several days, definitely this weekend too, especially on Sunday and the very early Monday morning. Tomorrow is going to be more of the same, but a little bit cooler. We were able to warm to the mid-80s today. Tomorrow, we're going to drop it down a little bit lower. 80 degrees, our high temperature for tomorrow. Average high temperature this time of year is 84, so it's overall just going to be a really, really good day for us. No rain in the forecast for nearly any of us on Wednesday. Maybe just a few showers in our very far southern counties. Thursday, Friday, we are all dry again. A few showers could try to move in late, very late Friday night. That's going to carry on over into Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We are still going to keep the chance for some scattered showers off and on throughout the weekend and into early next week as well. Temperatures aren't going to be bad at all for you either. We'll stay in the lower 80s for the next several days, and we're probably not going to be able to bump up to the mid 80s until around Monday or Tuesday or so. Temperatures Monday in the mid 80s, and we're going to stay that way for Tuesday, 86. The forecast high as of right now for Tuesday. Also want to show you this too, because again, if you have any outdoor plans, if you want to go on a hike, anything like that, through the rest of this week, it'll feel really good. It is not really going to be muggy at all for us for tomorrow. Thursday, Friday, going to feel good too. Saturday and Sunday, the humidity does start to bump up just a little bit, and we're also going to bring in that chance for some showers and thunderstorms as we head on into the weekend. Now we're going to take a look at the following week. This is the outlook for June 5th through 11th. We're still looking at a little cooler than normal, a better chance for that, or near normal temperatures across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. And as far as the rainfall amounts go, that's the same time frame, June 5th through June 11th. I think we're talking about near normal amounts of rainfall.
Did an Israeli attack in Rafah cross a red line? I'm Christine Frizzell with a look at why it's brought a new round of Biden blowback.
It's Mo.
Tonight, Israel is facing global condemnation for its continued attacks in Rafah. As Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell shows us tonight, one weekend attack in particular has more people now calling for U.S. leaders to stop sending weapons and aid to Israel.
Even in a war filled with horrifying scenes, the horrors of Israel's attack on a refugee camp for displaced people Sunday have been particularly gruesome and disturbing. Those on the ground describing the scene in Rafah as hell on earth. At least 50 killed and 250 injured, according to Gaza's health ministry, in a war where officials say many are now dying of disease and malnutrition.
There's a moral cost to the number of civilians that are dying inside of Gaza. But when you continue to withhold food and aid from the people, that ultimately makes these terrorist causes stronger.
The latest attack bringing blowback to President Biden, who has largely supported Israel, vocally, financially, and militarily.
I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem.
Progressive lawmakers calling for accountability. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Congressman Greg Casar both calling for President Biden to suspend military aid to Israel.
We're not going to forget in November, are we?
Others involved in the uncommitted movement to send Biden a message at the ballot box warning his support could cost him his re-election.
The International Court of Justice just ruled that the Israeli government must stop its invasion of Rafah. But President Biden says what's happening in Gaza is not a genocide.
Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib's speech at a conference which featured other speakers linked to the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, designated by the State Department as a foreign terrorist organization, has drawn criticism from her colleagues. Congressman Mike Lawler posting on X she should be removed from Congress immediately. The U.S. State Department says at this point, the attacks in Rafah do not rise to the level of a full-scale military operation and therefore did not cross a red line. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzau.
Well, today turned out to be a really good day, and the next few days are looking like more of the same beautiful weather on the way, but some storms arrive for this weekend. I'll show you when that hits in just a bit.
Also, we had the magnitude of this week's deadly storm still being realized. A look at the new areas impacted by violent weather. And gone fishing. The big box retailer making it easier to cast a line.
Wednesdays.
The death toll continues to rise from the violent storms that ripped across America's heartland over the weekend. You've probably seen some of the images and hear more. Fox weather correspondent Max Gordon tonight with the latest.
It's a lot of loss, big loss.
Folks throughout the central U.S. are assessing the damage Tuesday after a series of deadly storms and tornadoes rolled through over the holiday weekend, destroying hundreds of homes and businesses across a number of states, including Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kentucky. But the hardest hit was Texas, where one tornado killed at least 7 people and injured 100 more. And here in the town of Valley View, residents are dealing with near total devastation.
I have never seen something like this. It was terrible. I couldn't conceive the strength that it had.
Overall, at least 23 people died in these storms. Some are dealing with the loss of multiple family members. People saying the wind and rain came on quickly, leaving them little time to evacuate.
I was texting my sister, said it was going to be okay. Nothing's going to happen. And then we lost signal. I didn't hear from them again.
And that was the last time you spoke?
That was the last time I spoke to her.
Officials are now trying to clear the debris and get life back to normal, but it won't be easy. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying bluntly that this is not going to be a fast process. And while FEMA surveys the damage, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says his office is ready to get to work.
They need your prayers. They need your support. And God willing, we will help them rebuild their lives as quickly as possible.
Folks here in northern Texas are still dealing with severe weather, and forecasters say that more rain is expected throughout the rest of the week. In Sanger, Texas, Max Gordon, Fox Weather.
Brent, it's impossible not to say we're having, more of these violent weather events. I guess the only question is this a temporary thing or permanent? And we don't know.
That's exactly right. Hopefully, it's just a temporary thing. One thing I will say, though, I just saw this map earlier, and it was, I don't remember the exact numbers, but those Storm Prediction Center outlooks that we show,
yes.
level 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, in all of May, we've had some sort of risk across some part of the country every single day this month so far. So it's been active, level 2s to level 5s even. So
it's exhausting is what it is, yeah.
It's very exhausting. The people, I know the meteorologists all across the country, some of my friends over there, everybody's just tired. Unfortunately, the lives too, just a lot of activity going on so far this year. Here's your live look over Broadway, though. And fortunately for us today, it was all clear, all calm. We did not have to worry about any sort of bad weather. And that's exactly how it's going to stay for the next several days, too. As we head on into the weekend, we will start to ramp up that rain chance a little bit. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. 74 right here in Nashville. Again, all dry, clear skies, too. Dry across the southeastern part of the country. Back out west, you have those tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches. That was for parts parts of West Texas and New Mexico. That was earlier today, and they're going to keep that severe weather threat around there with them for the next couple of days too. But that threat's going to be staying out west. Again, we're not going to have to deal with any severe weather threat as we go through the rest of the work week at least. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s right now, 77 in Murfreesboro, 70 in Gallatin, Dickson, 66. Same goes for Columbia. We have some upper 60s out west, 68 the current temperature over there in Camden. As far as any rain goes for the rest of the night, I don't think we're going to get any of it. We are dry, mostly clear skies too for us as we head through the overnight hours. This is tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. We're going to keep it dry tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, I think we're nearly all dry. The only exception to that could be some very light showers that try to form maybe in our southern counties at best. But again, that chance is very slim too. So I think we're nearly all dry Wednesday. Thursday, more of the same, dry conditions, plenty of sunshine for us as we head through Thursday. And then as we head on over into Friday, we will start to increase our rain chance, but it's not going to come until very late Friday, it looks like, as of right now, overnight into Saturday morning. This is 7 o'clock Saturday morning. Some more of these showers and thunderstorms, they're going to start to push in from the west, and that's going to keep on moving east as we go through the rest of Saturday morning on throughout the afternoon hours too. So off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible throughout a lot of the day on Saturday. And also now this model is in agreement with some of the other long range models that we're also now looking at a rain chance as we head on into Sunday too. So Sunday we'll keep that chance for some scattered showers, some thunderstorms possible in the mix too for us on Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, more of the same, just some off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms. As far as rainfall amounts go, this is going to be the rainfall amounts from basically Saturday morning through the weekend on into early next week. Rainfall amounts around 2, maybe a little bit more, 2 inches plus down there in our more southwestern areas. And then as we get a little bit further to the east, those rainfall totals start to drop down a little bit lower, closer to about an inch around the plateau. For tonight, 60 degrees, your overnight low temperature, mostly clear skies, and then winds out of the west-northwest, fairly light, just 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow morning, mostly sunny, 62. By noon, a few more clouds build in, partly cloudy throughout the afternoon. 77 your temperature at noon, 78, that'll be your temperature by 5 o'clock. Finally, not a bad looking 7-day forecast. Thursday, Friday looking really good too. If you have any outdoor plans, it should be great weather for those. Temperatures will be a few degrees below normal for this time of year, and also it's not going to be humid. So Thursday, Friday looking really good too. So is Wednesday. Saturday and Sunday we increase that rain chance some, 40 to 50% chance for off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go through the weekend. Temperatures this weekend, they remain about the same, lower 80s. Humidity does start to bump up a little bit though as we head on into the weekend. We bring in a little bit more moisture. And then Monday, a 40% chance for showers and storms, mid-80s, and we'll carry that over into Tuesday.
Brett, thank you. Up next, just how much our viewers say they'd be willing to pay to see their favorite musicians in concert. And a helping hand, a new service offering to give fishermen more time on the water.
Your total.
Earlier in the newscast, we asked how much our viewers would be willing to pay to see their favorite music artist in concert. 264 votes coming in. The majority say up to $100. 31.8% say between $100 and $250. $250 to $500, only 4.2%, and 2.7% say we would cough up $500 or more. Polls live right now. To cast your vote, scan the QR code on the right-hand side of your screen, and we will have another update for you on the numbers tonight on Fox 17 News at 10.
And new tonight, going fishing just got easier. That's because Walmart is rolling out a new live bait delivery service.
We have all different kinds. We have catfish, we have trout, bluegill, sunfish, so it's really great for everybody.
Well, getting out and casting a line at your favorite watering hole just got a bit easier. Walmart's rolling out its first of its kind live bait delivery service. The store sells live bait, but now you can get it delivered right to your door.
Worms, it could go from mealworms to red worms. There's just different type of live bait for different fish that you would like to catch.
You can get live bait delivered as early as 6 a.m.
You can get it up to 10 p.m. at night. If you're going to go that early fishing, you can have all your bait ready before you go and get it delivered, like I said, or picked up.
Delivery is only available to a home or business. Future plans include delivery to your local fishing hole, something Tara Daughtry and her son, high school angler Deegan, say will help keep the tackle box full.
It just makes it really convenient to be able to get bait when I do want that live bait, so it just makes it one step easier.
It is good for fishermen, especially for the parks. It is convenient. A lot of times you're catching a lot of bluegills or bass and you're losing your bait very quickly out here, especially with the underwater structures. So it is convenient to have it delivered for sure.
This program is now up and running nationwide.
I couldn't help but think when that lady was talking about bluegill and what have you, that, using live bait, sometimes I feel like I'm just feeding the fish.
Yeah, sometimes it goes like that. And we were talking earlier, this would have been super helpful for me because when I was a kid, we used to have these stones, like a stone path that led to our garbage can, and I'd have to go up there and lift up the stones, gather my worms, and then take them over to the pond across the road. Yeah. And hey, that was a great time, though.
You can't ever get enough of them, though, when you need them.
I know. You're exactly right. So call Walmart, have them bring them out to me to my house. That'd be awesome.
Good stuff. All right, still to come tonight, a tip of the hat why a Mid-State Sheriff's deputy is receiving a national award. Looking ahead, some good news. A Mid-State School Resource Officer is about to receive a national honor. The National Association of School Resource Officers and the National Road Safety Foundation combining to announce that they will present their Innovation in the Classroom Award to Rutherford County Sheriff's Deputy Chad Dotson. That's him in front of Las Casas Elementary School. Now, the award given to the school resource officer, actually several of them across the country, who use innovative methods in teaching traffic safety to teenagers. Deputy Dotson will receive his award on July the 15th in Phoenix, Arizona during the National School Safety Conference. Congratulations.
I'm Kayla Gaskins. Coming up, we'll take a look at one of the biggest obstacles in transitioning Americans to electric vehicles.
If someone were having a stroke that you love, would you know the fast warning signs? I'm Liz Bonus. Why one survivor wants all of us to know them. It's just ahead.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
We begin tonight with breaking news in Laverne, where an argument at an apartment complex on Murfreesboro Road has resulted in 2 murders. The victims are men, one 23, the other 37. A 45-year-old woman is being treated for a minor gunshot wound. 4 people, police say, are now in custody. New tonight, a bombshell accusation, a series of them by a former Metro police officer, that ranking officers in the department lobbied state lawmakers to essentially defang what is now Nashville's Community Review Board. As Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino shows us, some of the allegations were made public during a specially called meeting earlier tonight.
Major fallout after a retired Metro police officer sends a whistleblowing 61-page document to the Community Review Board, a civilian watchdog agency for the city. It alleges what the CRB is calling serious allegations of misconduct within MMPD's Internal Affairs Unit, the Office of Professional Accountability.
I will not sit in this meeting and pretend like we have a 61-page document that has some very serious and critical issues and not say one word about it. I refuse to do that.
The CRB tasked with overseeing citizen complaints against officers. Executive Director Jill Fitchard rejects Metro Legal's warning to keep quiet per a new state law. That law taking away much of the CRB's ability to investigate misconduct complaints independently.
Inside of the complaint are allegations of MMPD and high-ranking officials having a hand in this law. It is alleged that MMPD did work to thwart the efforts of any kind of external oversight. And so if that is the case, then I don't have confidence that OPA can investigate this in an unbiased, transparent manner.
Fox 17 News exclusively getting a portion of the 61-page document. Other allegations include officer discipline not being carried out and high-ranking officers working to undermine the authority of Kathy Morante, who heads the department's OPA.
I think that community deserves to understand the complexity of the complaint. They need to understand some of the allegations.
The board is calling on the mayor's office for a third-party independent investigation. This after hiring their own attorney outside of Metro Legal some weeks ago.
Now, Metro Police released a statement earlier tonight from Police Chief John Drake that reads in part, the police department has been and will continue to investigate this complaint and look at whether our administrative process for internal investigation and discipline needs any refinement.
It's sad. It's another place that used to be a crown jewel.
In the high cost of homelessness tonight, Hermitage residents say a big homeless camp that was just closed by the city back in January appears to be reconstituting itself right across the street. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller live now downtown at the Metro Courthouse after taking these concerns directly to the city.
Yes, Scott. Well, we reached out to Metro's Office of Homeless Services after we received a lot of complaints about drug use and panhandling near the driving range off Andrew Jackson Parkway. Now, take a look. This is what the old homeless encampment used to look like off of Andrew Jackson Parkway. And now resident and community activist Katrina Leach says that people are living in the woods right across the street. The Office of Homeless Services says that it provided 39 people with housing options from this original camp. Now, we followed up to see if this fencing around the camp that appears to be unfinished would be addressed, and they referred me to the property owner. And Leach says this issue has now moved over to the driving range.
It's sad. It's another place that used to be a crown jewel in Hermitage that's now being plagued by people don't want to stay after dark over here.
The Office of Homeless Services says that safety and security concerns are matters for Metro Police. Now, we also reached out to the Metro Councilman Jordan Huffman, who oversees this district where this new encampment is, to see what they're doing to address this issue, but we have not heard back yet. Reporting live from Metro Courthouse, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I think that it's pretty clear to see who the bad actors are, and it's Live Nation, Ticketmaster, and third-party resellers.
Continuing coverage tonight as Nashville musicians are among roughly 250 artists asking members of Congress to mandate reforms in the live event ticketing industry. The National Independent Venue Association delivered a letter to Congress that includes signatures of some big-name performers like Dave Matthews and members of the band Fall Out Boy. They're asking lawmakers to restore integrity to the ticketing process. Nashville musician Ben Delacour says that the current system is hurting artists, venues, and fans alike.
Ticketmaster and Live Nation. Paycheck to go to a show, to see a big artist, you know, you're probably going to be more hesitant to spend $20 and go see a local band.
Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn is co-sponsor of the Fans First Act. Blackburn says she wants to safeguard artists and their fans in the online ticketing marketplace. Early in the newscast, we told you about our X poll asking how much our viewers would be willing to pay to see their favorite music artists in concert. Just under 270 votes so far. The majority say up to $100, 61.9%. The next biggest category, 31.3% saying between $100 and $250. Every night we've got a poll for you that you can take part in on our X page. Our handle is @FoxNashville. Look for a new one tomorrow, and our thanks for all who took time to vote. In Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police tonight are searching for 3 suspects in a burglary last week at a pharmacy in Midtown. They made off with thousands of dollars worth of prescription medicine, but they left some traces behind. Take a look. This happened on May 19th at the Walgreens on 22nd Avenue North. They arrived around 4 a.m. You see the white sedan they were in. The suspects arrived there and pried a door to get in. Police shared these images from the security cameras. If you know anything about what happened or recognize that vehicle, please call Metro Police.
Beautiful weather that we had across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky today, and that stretch of beautiful weather is going to carry on over through the rest of this work week, and then by the weekend, that's when things start to change a little bit. Our next weather maker arrives, and we'll see a better chance for some scattered off and on showers and thunderstorms for the weekend on into early next week. None of that for tonight, though. A really good night for you. Calm night looking too over there on the Broadway camera. Temperatures right now here in Nashville, we're at 70, mostly clear skies tonight, and I think that's how we're going to start out tomorrow morning too, with mostly sunny skies, a few more clouds built in later. Right now, radar is all quiet really across the southeastern part of the country. It has been an active day again, though, in areas way out west of here, a lot of West Texas, and some sort of either severe thunderstorm watches or tornado watches. We're not going to have to deal with any of that, though, for at least the next several days. So good news on that. Finally get a break from all that active weather. Temperatures, they're in the 60s right now for most locations. 63 Crossville, one of the cooler spots, coming in at 65 up in Cookeville. Dickson at 66 and Clarksville also at 66 right now for the current temperature. We're going to stay dry until very late Friday night. Really, we'll say early Saturday morning, I think, is when some of those showers and thunderstorms should start to move in. Overall, temperatures are going to be really good. Humidity values aren't going to be too high either. So if you have any outdoor plans for the next few days, fantastic weather to get any of those done. And then we'll be talking about some chance for some weekend storms carrying on over into early next week. I'll have that for you and also show you how much rain you might pick up coming up in just a bit.
I'm Kayla Gaskins. Coming up, we'll take a look at one of the biggest obstacles in transitioning Americans to electric vehicles.
New tonight, President Biden's plan to get America to make the switch to electric cars. Let's just say it's not going quite as well as he had hoped. Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins explains why.
Come on, jump in. I'll give you a ride to Washington.
A central part of Joe Biden's presidency, transitioning Americans to electric vehicles.
The Great American Road Trip is going to be fully electrified.
The administration investing $7.5 billion to build charging stations across the country. But in 2 years, only 8 have been built. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg pressed for an explanation on CBS.
Why isn't that happening more quickly?
So the president's goal is to have 500,000 chargers up by the end of this decade. Now, in order to do a charger, it's more than just plunking a small device into the ground. There's utility work, engaging them, and the first handful, again, by 2030, 500,000 chargers.
Critics calling this unacceptable.
Even in the private sector, they spend billions of dollars to build electric chargers, and they got only 8 done at this point. There would be an outrage by the investors. They would want a change at the top.
One possible setback to constructing charging stations is copper production.
Copper is used to generate electricity. It's used to move electricity. It's used to store electricity. So above every other metal in the periodic table, copper is the most critical.
A study by the University of Michigan finding companies simply cannot mine enough copper to keep up with current EV policy goals. We spoke with one of the study's leaders, Professor Adam Simon.
Current mine production of copper is about 20 million tons per year, global. We need to double it to 40 million tons per year. And we cannot do that at existing mines. Like, no way, no how.
Simon tells us it's not as simple as ramping up production. More mines have to be built, and that will take decades.
The Michigan study found transitioning to hybrid vehicles is much more realistic than full electric. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
I'm Janae Bones in Washington with a look at what stores and fast food chains are doing to get your money.
Today was a good one, and we're going to get that beautiful weather to continue for the next few days, and then we'll bring in a chance for some showers and thunderstorms by the weekend. I'll have more details on that and how much rain you might get after the break.
Wendy's fries are always...
T-Mobile is set to buy most of U.S. Cellular in a $4.4 billion deal. The cash and debt deal will bring the regional carrier's customers into the T-Mobile fold. 4 million customers will be affected. The deal should close by mid-2025. According to a new FTC report, retail giant Best Buy was the company most commonly impersonated by scammers last year. They logged over 52,000 incidents, mostly with scammers pretending to be the company's Geek Squad, stealing over $15 million.
They'll go in and they'll make it seem like, hey, we've got something wrong with your computer we picked up on. If you just click here, we'll fix it right away. Bottom line, don't click anything you didn't ask for.
Top companies impersonated by scammers also include Amazon with 34,000 incidents last year, PayPal with 10,000, and Microsoft with 7,000. And Regal Cinemas rolling out what might just be the future of movies. No holograms here. This new way to watch movies called 4DX features gyroscopic seats and other immersive effects like fog. So far, 3 movies are showing in 4DX. Furiosa, the Garfield movie, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's business. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Staying with the economy, with many Americans very much still feeling the pinch of high prices, restaurants and other businesses are focused on affordability, trying to get you to come back in. Fox 17 News' Janae Bowens tonight shows us how that is playing out at stores near you.
A trip to McDonald's isn't as cheap as it used to be.
Actually, I would like for them to put some good stuff on sale and maybe a sandwich, fries, and a drink. For me, it probably costs like $14, $15.
The Daily Mail points out McDonald's prices have doubled in 10 years. Back in 2014, you could get a McDouble for just $1.19. Today, you'll pay $3.19. And if the shake machine is working, you'll pay $4.49 for an Oreo McFlurry. It used to be just $2.39.
Everything go up now, everything up.
McDonald's has seen less revenue from lower income customers and reduced foot traffic.
We've lived through a period of incredibly high inflation. When prices go up, particularly for food, it's low income customers that are often the most sensitive to those price changes.
There are now reports that the fast food chain is going to start offering $5 meal deals. It's not just them. Wendy's is offering 1-cent junior cheeseburgers until June 2nd. And Walmart, Target, and Aldi are discounting thousands of items.
So as a result of families spending more on food, they're a lot more attuned to how much they're spending, especially when they get to treat themselves to a meal out. So it's not surprising to me that supermarkets and fast food chains are really trying to appeal to consumers on price.
Now, even though inflation is coming down, that just means the rate at which prices are going up has slowed. Food prices are 26.95% higher now than they were before the pandemic. Experts want me to remind you to be sure to shop around for the best deals. I'm Janae Bowens reporting.
New tonight, the White House is pledging federal support to help the victims of the severe storms that swept the U.S. over the long Memorial Day holiday weekend, and there were a lot of them. Those storms, in fact, killed at least 24 people across 7 states. Those states include Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. We had deaths in Kentucky, North Carolina, and Virginia, too.
As we speak, FEMA is conducting damage assessments with their state and local counterparts, and tomorrow the FEMA administrator will travel to Arkansas.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre there says that President Biden has already spoken directly with the governors of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. Now, nearly 1 million people are still without power across the state of Texas tonight following the storms they had there. You see on the map red for a reason. You can see the path on the Power Outage U.S. website. Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri lighting up with tens of thousands of outages there. And the outages continue, you see, over into Kentucky and then eventually to West Virginia.
And it's just been really relentless for us this entire month, really this entire spring too. If we go back to April was a very active tornado month across the plains, and the plains are still getting hit. Tornado Alley right now with these tornadoes. Very calm weather for us though here in the southeastern part of the country. Very calm in Nashville today, and we really needed a nice break in that rain, or really the severe weather too. Sunday got really busy on the early Monday morning, and we had tornado warnings issued here for our viewing area. Fortunately though, none of that for today. We are all nice and clear, and we're going to stay clear as we head through the next several days too. Temperatures right now, we're at 70 degrees, mostly clear skies for us. There's a live look over Broadway, a little bit of a crowd out there, not a whole lot going on this Tuesday night though. As far as any rain goes, none of that anywhere close to us. It is all dry still across the southeastern part of the country. It's going to stay like that too. Not expecting really any rain chance as we head through the next few days, much at all at least. Very active though again out in the parts of West Texas where they've had tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches as well. Temperatures right now, they're in the 60s and 70s depending on where you're at. Some low to mid 60s out here in the east. 63 Crossville, 64 the current temperature in Cookeville. Again, we're at 70 in Nashville. We have mid 60s, Clarksville and Dickson both coming in at 66. So as far as any rain goes for us, I'm not expecting really any of that through the rest of the night. We're going to stay mostly clear too. Mostly sunny skies to start out the morning. By the afternoon, a few more clouds build in. Nearly all dry conditions for us for tomorrow afternoon. If we get any rain, it'll just be in the form of some very light showers and really just for the very far southern portions of the viewing area. I think nearly, though, everybody stays dry. That's just a very slim chance down there. As far as any rain goes for Thursday, I think we're all dry on Thursday. Plenty of sunshine for us on Thursday, shaping up to be a great day. Humidity value is also going to be very low for the next few days through the rest of the work week. So any outdoor plans looking really good. Friday, things start to change up, but not until later on in the day. Late Friday night, really early Saturday morning, a better chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms will start to move in from the west. These are going to keep on sliding to the east. That'll leave us with a chance for some off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms through the rest of Saturday afternoon on into Saturday night. And now on the most recent model run, this is one of our long range models. It is actually showing that this model is coming on board with the other model, showing a rain chance for Sunday as well. So more scattered showers and thunderstorms possible Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. Rainfall totals from early Saturday morning through Tuesday. I think we'll be talking about maybe 2 inches or a little bit more in our southwestern areas. Over here in the east, I think those numbers will be closer to 1 inch or so. Here's your temperatures for the rest of the work week. Lower 80s. That's going to put us below normal, and we'll stay in the lower 80s through the weekend too. Humidity values Wednesday, Thursday, Friday looking really good. Not going to be too humid. Saturday, Sunday we get some more moisture, a little bit more humid, mid-80s for us Monday and Tuesday.
I'm Jeff Harris in Washington. Millions across the United States could soon face record temperatures. We explain how you can best protect yourself and your loved ones this summer. Coming up.
Feels good to
Millions across the nation are facing extreme heat threats with another summer of record-breaking temperatures forecast for parts of the country. Fox 17 News' Jeff Harris tonight talking with experts about ways we can protect ourselves and our loved ones.
Experts are really pushing for more safeguards to be put in place specifically for people working outside this summer in areas that are likely to experience that extreme heat.
In the next couple of weeks, another round of record-breaking temperatures are expected to hit the United States.
It's going to be happening, and it needs to be on our radars for dealing with.
An implementation science director, Daniel Smith, tells us extreme heat is exactly what it sounds like.
Whenever the temperature rises to a point that the residents can no longer cope.
But with the extreme heat can come extreme consequences, which is why Smith says safeguards need to be put in place, especially for those working outside.
To have access to clean, cool water, we need them to have access to 20-minute breaks, possibly longer breaks, depending on how hot it gets every hour. And we need them to have access to those breaks in the shade, in areas that they can cool off.
Smith says it's also important to forecast a few days in advance. That way, work schedules can get adjusted based off of the heat.
We can shift work times to be, let's say, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., have workers take a break in the middle of the day.
Plus, if possible, make cooling stations accessible throughout the day, especially in some northern states where many homes might not have central air.
So just giving people access to air conditioning can be a big thing that we do to protect health.
Now, according to NOAA, most of New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, Texas, and Colorado have the highest chance of experiencing hotter than normal temperatures. Maine down to Pennsylvania and also New Jersey also have a 40 to 50% chance of that extreme heat as well. I'm Jeff Harris reporting from Washington.
If someone were having a stroke that you love, would you know the fast warning signs? I'm Liz Bonus. Why one survivor wants all of us to know them. It's just ahead.
In health news, a young stroke survivor is asking all of us to be aware of the early warning signs. Fox 17 medical reporter Liz Bonus tonight sharing what they are and an easy way to remember them.
The warning signs of a stroke, such as what you see here, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call 911 are critical to recovery.
The number one thing that I will try to tell everybody is that stroke can affect anybody at any age, and I'm living proof of that.
Sandra Mingy knows if she had not had immediate intervention from stroke specialists following not one but 2 strokes.
And at the age of 38, I suffered 2 strokes in 24 hours.
She would not have had the near complete recovery she's had now.
Please don't wait. Don't see if the symptoms will go away on their own. Better to come into the hospital and find out that nothing's wrong than miss the opportunity to treat a stroke. Please don't wait. Time is brain.
A blood clot to the brain from a carotid artery dissection appears to have caused Sandra's strokes.
So a dissection is when the artery tears, which can cause it to become blocked or can cause hemorrhage into the wall that's bleeding into the wall of the vessel and cause a stroke in that way.
Sandra says she didn't just have the fast warning signs, she had a bad headache and neck pain too. She got help early enough, however, that Ohio's UC Health stroke team could surgically remove one of her clots to prevent further damage and let a second one resolve on its own.
I'm blessed, and luckily, after 8 days, I walked out of the hospital with very few residual effects other than a little bit of slurred speech.
She says since quite often the person having the stroke cannot communicate, it is up to all of us to recognize these and call for help. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
Liz, thank you. All right, breakfast weather. Most of the kids are out of school by now, so we don't have to get up early.
I know, and it's going to be great weather. If you do have any outdoor plans tomorrow or Thursday, Friday, it's going to be awesome weather for that. Temperatures will be in the lower 80s.